The prison guards turned their portable radio from the blues of country and were greeted by a voice so full of audible complexion they heard the eye patch snap along the backside of the speaker's head.
"Yar, it's a fine eve for a prison fight, me lads, yar!"
The two guards' heads slowly turned toward one another. Their eyes widened.
"Joe be wielding a shank sharper than any rapier on the seven seas."
One of the guards shot straight up, legs at the ready for a sprint, until the other guard grabbed his ankle. A confused look, the guard glared down at the other. Letting go of his ankle, he raised a finger to his mouth and listened intently.
Joe takes a lunge at the swashbuckling maggot. He misses. He lunges again. He's kicked back. Whoa.
The announcer, breaking character, chokes on his own surprise before resuming his persona.
"The man-o'-war from nowhere be pulling something out of the backside."
The guard, still paused with his ear toward the radio, shuffled his bottom and reached for his wallet. The other wordlessly gestures at the radio with a disgusted face. He protested as the other man pulls out a $20 bill, holding it in front of his face, squinting. He waited.
"Calypso, help me. That be no scabbard I seen before. That be a mace. How did he even fit all that?"
The guard smiled, slapping the bill on the right side of the radio. Leaning back, he looked at the other guard with a raised eyebrow. The other looked at him, questioning his sanity. The other nodded towards the radio, his eyebrows dancing. As the announcer grew more intense, the hesitant guard slowly took his seat next to the guard, shaking his head with predetermined regret as he pulled out a matching $20 bill and placed it on the left side of the radio. The guards leaned in closer as the buccaneer shouted at the top of his lungs. They heard the rest of the prisoners banging on their cell doors, jeering and cheering on the two combatants.
"Joe's gonna be needing a peg leg if he doesn't act He's on the ground! Joe's on the ground!"
The right guard gritted his teeth.
"Joe may be in mighty trouble, me hearties. It looks like he'll be meeting his poo-covered fate with no pity from Davy Jones. Man-o'-war goes in for..."
The radio crackled and spat, and a great high-pitched tone was followed by static. The right guard smacked the top of the radio, but it was no use. The two sat, motionless. They looked at each other. They looked at the door leading inside the prison block. They looked at the money sitting on the ground. They looked at each other again. Then the door. Grabbing the money, the left guard clambered to his feet as the other guard caught him by the ankle yet again, but this time yanking his ankle back. As the leading guard face-planted into the ground, his nose desecrated on the smooth concrete, the other guard made a break for the door. The two stumbled down the cell block until they reached the end of the large bricked corridor with ragged prisoners clanking and hollering out their cell doors. As the bloody-nosed guard skidded to a halt beside his counterpart, they were greeted by a third guard. "It's about time you two showed." He glanced at the shattered face of Tweedledum. "What in God's name is wrong with you?" He didn't respond. He just stared at the question stupidly. The guard rattled on about the two's late arrival and strange behavior as a gurney rolled by behind them, covered in blood. The two craned their necks to the side as an inmate, bloody and contorted, walked by in cuffs, with his butt cheeks clenched tight. Another guard followed, holding a rusty mace at a distance between his pointer finger and thumb. Though bloody and bruised, the guard held his nose with a small brewing smirk. The other walked away disgusted, impartial to the third guard's interrogation.